Fellow South Africans, I greet you all, and without any further ado, I will bring you to this particular reality.
I want to tell you, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, you are a good man. You are a good man. But of course, we can't make you a fighter. That's not what your mission was. We will fight a fight for our own identity, for our own integrity and personality as Africans. We are Africans.
Your Majesties, Your Royal Highnesses, distinguished guests, comrades and friends, today all us do, by our presence here and by our celebrations in other parts of our country and the world, confer glory and hope to newborn liberty. Out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long, must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud. Our daily deeds as ordinary South Africans must produce an actual South African reality that will reinforce humanity's belief in justice.
People fail to understand these founding values. Our daily deeds. Our daily deeds. Within less than a minute of saying anything, the founding words of our rainbow nation was our daily deeds.
Actual South African reality that will reinforce humanity's belief in justice. In justice. Humanity's belief in justice. Actual South African reality that will reinforce humanity's belief in justice.
Humanity's belief in justice. I believe that when I go to the court I will find justice, but the court itself today, at the Western Cape High Court, it refuses to give me justice. They spit on these particular founding values, and the incumbent President Cyril Ramaphosa allows them to do so.
Disaster that lasted too long must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud. Our daily deeds as ordinary South Africans.
Our daily deeds as ordinary South Africans. What have I been doing? What have I been saying to all people? They are saying, no, Mangolele is crazy. And all soldiers were forced to not even listen to one of their own because of corruption. Today I am not paid a salary because of corruption. Thandi Modise, Nosiviwe Mapisa Ngakula, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, General Solishoke, and then Vice Admiral Samuel Hlongwane, are the culprits that have caused these things, including other many people that have come to this particular reality today. They forgot. They forgot that our daily deeds as ordinary South Africans. And what about us as professionals? Because before we are professionals, we are ordinary South Africans.
Must produce an actual South African reality that will reinforce humanity's belief in justice.
Is it reinforcing humanity's belief in justice when the court itself makes you fight with security in it? People are trembling on the name of this man. People are trembling on the actual national flag that I hold up high.
Strengthen his confidence in the nobility of the human soul and sustain all our hopes for a closeless life for all. All this we owe both to ourselves and to the peoples of the world who are so well represented here today. To my compatriots, I have no hesitation in saying that each one of us is as intimately attached to the soil of this beautiful country as are the famous jacaranda trees of Pretoria and the mimosa trees of the bushveld. Each time one of us touches the soil of this land, we feel a sense of personal renewal. The national mood changes as the seasons change. We are moved by a sense of joy and exhilaration when the grass turns green and the flowers bloom. That spiritual and physical oneness we all share with this common homeland.
That spiritual and physical oneness we all share, that is the spirit of Ubuntu, the basic principles of Batubili.
Explains that the depth of the pain we all carry in our hearts as we saw our country tear itself apart in terrible conflicts, and as we saw it spent, outlawed, and isolated by the peoples of the world, precisely because it had become the universal base of the pernicious ideology and practice of racism and racial oppression.
Racial oppression. I am black. No, a black person cannot be talking English like Mangolele is talking. No, a black person cannot come to court and represent himself and win. No, a black person cannot tell us anything. He cannot tell us anything, and Rona, as the masters of the slaves, we will employ slaves such as Cyril Ramaphosa to make sure that Mangolele is oppressed. Mangolele goes back to the Land Act of 1913 and lives on the streets. And forget what this great man has fought for. Cyril Ramaphosa, you must be ashamed of yourself. You must be ashamed of yourself to what you have done to Sylvester Wolane Madala Mangolele, his children Nyiko Mangolele and Aluta Songelwa, his family, especially the 83-year-old grandmother Leta Kukunana Majila. You must be ashamed of yourself, Cyril Ramaphosa, and step down as president. Mr. Kaso, I have written to you that in terms of Section 89 of the Constitution, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa must be removed.
We, the people of South Africa, feel fulfilled that humanity has taken us back into its bosom, that we, who were outlaws not so long ago, had today be given the rare privilege to be hosted to the nations of the world on our own soil.
I am an African. I owe my being to the hills and the valleys, the mountains and the glades, the rivers, the deserts, the trees, the flowers, the seas, and the ever-changing seasons that define the face of our native land. My body has frozen in our frosts and in our latter-day snows. It has thawed in the warmth of our sunshine and melted in the heat of the midday sun. The crack and the rumble of the summer thunders, lashed by startling lightning, have been a cause both of trembling and of hope. The fragrances of nature have been as pleasant to us as the sight of the wild blooms of the citizens of the veldt. The dramatic shapes of the Drakensberg, the soil-colored waters of the Likwa, Iqili, Notuget, and the sands of the Kalahari have all been panels of the set on the natural stage on which we act out the foolish deeds of the theater of the day. At times, and in fear, I have wondered whether I should concede equal citizenship of our country to the leopard and the lion, the elephant and the springbok, the hyena, the black mamba, and the pestilential mosquito. A human presence among all of these, a feature on the face of our native land just defined, I know that none dare challenge me when I say I am an African.
My name is Sylvester Volane Madala Mangolele. South Africa is on my shoulders. I serve and defend my country and its people in accordance with the Constitution and the law, and with honor, dignity, courage, and integrity. I serve in the South African National Defence Force with loyalty and pride, as a citizen and a volunteer. I do not advance or harm the interest of any political party or organization. I accept personal responsibility for my actions. I obey all lawful commands and respect all my superiors. I refuse to obey a manifestly illegal order. I carry out my mission with courage and assist my comrade in arms, even at the risk of my own life. I treat all people fairly and respect their rights and dignity at all times, regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, culture, language, or sexual orientation. I respect and support my subordinates and treat them fairly. I do not abuse my authority, position, or public funds for personal gain, political motive, or any other reason. I report criminal activity, corruption, and misconduct to the appropriate authority. I improve the capabilities of the South African National Defence Force by maintaining discipline, safeguarding property, developing skills and knowledge, and perform my duties to the best of my ability, as obligated in terms of Section 237 of the Constitution. I am the Defence Force. The South African National Defence Force in service and defence of the Republic. I consist of the Army, the Air Force, the South African Navy, and the South African Military Health Services, all encompassing the South African National Defence Force. I am security of these borders and a member of nations equal before all other family of nations. Everything that is happening within the borders of this particular republic is my business. And everything that is in direct violation of the Constitution and the law, I defend and protect the Constitution, the territorial integrity, national sovereignty of the Republic and our democracy. The territorial integrity includes the economic exclusive zone in our 3,200 and so kilometers worth of a coastline, and all the maritime resources in it. And I require the South African Navy operational at sea, protecting the borders in our economic exclusive zone. There are trillions, in fact, countless of resources in that particular zone that are consistently being looted as a result of the absence of the South African Navy. It is my mission to be unchallenged at sea. It is not my mission to be unchallenged on land. On land, as a senior officer, I protect and defend the Republic of South Africa as a nation equal before the family of nations in the entire universe. Fellow South Africans, the reality that comes to effect is that I am true to my cause. And having been true to my cause, I am true to my faith, to my oath of office. And I do not back down from any threat that is threatening the sovereignty of our country and its people. It is correct that my organizational values are exactly that. I am the Defense Force, as any soldier is the Defense Force. The Department of Defense has committed itself to organizational values that are rooted in individual values, code of conduct, and unit cohesion. In delivering the defense mission, the Department of Defense continues to pursue and adhere to the following organizational values. Accountability. We shall create a learning organization in which all employees seek to and share knowledge and information whilst committing themselves to personal growth. We shall lead by example and influence others to follow these principles. We shall be sensible to the requirements we make of our people and recognize the unique commitments and contribution they make. General Rozani Mapoanya does not know any of these DoD values. He talks of discipline, but he has no clue what discipline is. And I challenge you, General Rozani Mapoanya, to come and tell me that is it discipline to sustain criminal activity, corruption, misconduct, and apartheid in the DoD? I challenge you. Come and tell me that it is like that. And go stand in front of your men and say, hey, I'm the chief of the South African National Defense Force. That one, leave him, he's talking nonsense. Go read the DoD strategy of 2015 to 2020 in relation to the South African Defense Review of 2014. You will understand that the Honorable Minister Lindiwe Sisulu has tasked a team in 2011 to produce this particular defense review, following an arms deal corruption that has brought our republic into its knees. Right now, people follow just only positions, but they don't follow the truth. Right now, people go to bed and say, no, we are working for all of you, but not Mangolele. And because he's reading, he knows. No, people, don't do like that. Metandi Mudise, stand up and pay my salary. It takes you a call to HR separations. It will not take you 10 minutes. And my salary will be paid. Do you know that? You make it like it's a nightmare. I must pay the salary of Mangolele. But the DoD values, they say, consultation rooted in effective and efficient partnership and collaboration. What do you understand with that? How do I collaborate with the Minister of Defense and collaborate with the Chief of Defense while they are stabbing my bag? And everybody is watching and then they are saluting them. Yes, 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 yes. And they are happy about that. They forget. In any event, we shall encourage and improve links with other government departments, relevant organs of state, and identified stakeholders. We will strengthen partnership with industry, allies, and the community at large. We shall promote collaboration within the DoD, harmonize activities and systems, and where sensible, share knowledge. And knowledge is that the Constitution is the supreme law of our republic. Law or conduct inconsistent with it is invalid. And the obligations that are imposed by the Constitution, Metandi Mudise, must be fulfilled. You cannot have a situation where the Constitution in section 23(1) tells you that everyone has a right to fair labor practice, and then when you are practicing the opposite. And yet you tell everybody that I serve and defend you in accordance with the Constitution and the law and with integrity. Where is integrity there? People. Discipline. We shall consistently uphold a high level of discipline. We shall individually and collectively sustain and safeguard the profile and image of the defense establishment as a disciplined profession. Disciplined profession is when something is wrong, you fix it right there and there, and you discipline the person who made it wrong such that it does not repeat itself. You do not babysit criminal activity, corruption, misconduct, apartheid, and everything that has to do with oppressing another person. Ethics. We shall adopt and encourage reasonable working practices. We shall not be deflected by the demands of own vested interest, but those of the Department of Defense. We shall foster fairness and trustworthy in all that we do. We shall not ignore difficult issues or situations. It is a difficult issue or situation right now that the incumbent president Cyril Ramaphosa must step down as a failure as commander-in-chief. I am the 6th president of the Republic of South Africa. And in the event that any of you are true to your organizational values, before we get to individual values, to your organizational values, is it correct for a family to suffer as my family is suffering? Is it correct for Nyeko Mangolele and Aluta Songelwa to be growing without a father as they are growing without a father? Excellence. We shall build on what we do well and actively foster a climate of success. We shall invest in our people and encourage innovation. We shall, where possible, provide appropriate incentives and recognize individual and team contributions. On 4 February 2016, the then Manager Technical Upkeep Section, MTAS, Captain Sen Mutetwa, and Officer Commanding Fleet Maintenance Unit, OCFMU, which is Captain Sen Lamola at the time, brought me before Director Fleet Logistics Rear Admiral Junior Grade Mkondo, and assured him that I was the right man for the job. A job in which I was instructed to conduct an internal investigation into the possible recapacitation of the repairable workshops at Naval Stores Depot Wingfield, in which the investigation should look at, but not limited to, previous approved structures, reasons for discontinued structures, requirements to reinstitute such a structure, feasibility of reinstituting structure, and that I must report bi-monthly on this investigation to Director Fleet Logistics Rear Admiral Mkondo. And what came out was this feasibility study in which we must empower the young so as to have a better future. That was the crux of it. Because it is indeed true that the best interest of our children are of paramount importance in every matter concerning them. The future and sustainability of the Navy has a direct impact in the best interest of our children. The aim of this particular presentation was to report on the internal investigation on the possible recapacitation of the repairable workshops at Naval Stores Depot Wingfield, where one had to observe, orientate, decide, and act in employing the OODA loop that any other soldier is ingrained to employ when describing the matter that is being observed, and then analyzing and explaining on when orientating himself with such, and then when deciding that then one needs to focus and anticipate, and then in prescribing the action is what follows. And what had followed was, in looking at everything that takes into account, one had to fall back into the reality of the obligations imposed in terms of Section 198D of the Constitution, which mandates that national security is subject to the authority of Parliament and the national executive, and when looking at the reality that in terms of Section 2A of the Defence Act, Parliament and the national executive are the policy holders, which actually gave a mandate in terms of milestone 1 of the South African Defence Review 2014 to arrest the decline in critical capabilities through immediate directed interventions. And it is indeed that it took 5 years to arrest the decline, and I wish not for it to take another 5 years to develop a limited and sustainable defense capability. Because the longer the neglect is perpetuated, the greater the effort, time, and cost that would be necessary to arrest the decline and restore the minimum capabilities required to safeguard South Africa's borders, protect its maritime trade routes, conduct peace missions and humanitarian interventions, safeguard South Africa and its people, and defend and protect the country against external aggression. This is in terms of Chapter 9 of the South African Defence Review 2014, where the actual arresting the decline is explained, which enforce or obligates the defense force to first shrink cost before it can either expand independently or in partnership. And when I get you back to the feasibility of the study and bring you to the issues that are required to reinstitute that particular study, I had to pass begin. I had to pass the reality that national security is a resolve to seek a better life, peace and harmony. And national security is our business. I had to pass begin in the Defence Act and look at the principles of the Defence Act in terms of Section 2 of the Defence Act. And that begin I also had to pass in relation to the establishment of the Defence Force or Security Forces in terms of Section 1995 of the Constitution, read with the first line of our Code of Conduct, to serve and defend the country and its people in accordance with the Constitution and the law. The strategic or outcome-orientated goal, outcome number 1 of the DOD in terms of the outcome statement 1 of the DOD in the Defence Force Strategy 2015 to 2020, addressing in particular the arresting of the decline, is that RSA, the Republic of South Africa, is defended and protected by the South African National Defence Force, by Mangolele. This outcome encompasses the central purpose of the DOD and includes the following 3 main elements. Comprehensive defense capabilities are enhanced and maintained. Peace, stability, and security in the Republic of South Africa, region, continent, and world are promoted. The people of South Africa are supported. When you fail to pass begin, it's when you continue not to pay the salary of Sylvester Volane Mangolele. Fellow South Africans, the reality that comes into this matter is that I do work. That presentation did not do itself, it was done. And unfortunately, in other matters, the reality is that people are told that this person is not correct in mind this person is crazy, this person, that was said just to babysit and then sustain criminal activity while people are busy looting money out of state organs. You have it in your own reality and in your own view that it is indeed true that Mangolele is alive. Mangolele is not in jail as misrepresented in the DOD PESOL system since 8 August 2018, and ever since then everything has been done to suppress that particular truth, forgetting what our founding values of this rainbow nation were when the people have said what they have said openly and to all. Good people, I need not to be sarcastic to any other person. I need not to make any other person look as if they are stupid. No one is stupid. You just do things deliberately. Metandi Mudise, you have received an email from your secretary. Secretary of Defense, you have received an email from Maite Lengolo. General Rosani Mwapwanya, you have received an email or a message from your secretary, Patience Blenis, or General Mhlauli. And you are frustrating these people by babysitting criminal activity, corruption, and misconduct. You are bringing the entire defense force into disrepute while you are in critical capabilities, entrusted with constitutional obligations. I will not say this. However, I will let him say it the way he said it when it was said.
International guests for having come to take possession with the people of our country. What is, after all, a common victory for justice, for peace, for human dignity?
You must understand the founding value is justice, peace, human dignity. I tell them, hey, I want my human dignity. In any event, you bear no prospects of success. They spit life straight on the Madiba legacy. They promote the legacy of corruption in which people are forced to live as a national state in imagination. Yeah, man, you are disgusting. I mean, not to be rude, but it is disgusting for all of you to be saying, yeah, because people lied about Mangolele and then those are our friends in critical capabilities of state, we support them and we drain them. How many people did you drain like me in the Republic of South Africa and forced them into poverty? While peace, justice, and human dignity are the founding values of a rainbow nation.
We trust that you will continue to stand by us as we tackle the challenges of building peace, prosperity, non-sexism, non-racialism, and democracy. We deeply appreciate the role that the masses of our people and their political, mass democratic, religious, women, youth, business, traditional and other leaders have played to bring about this conclusion. Not least amongst them is my second Deputy President, the Honorable F.W. de Klerk. We would also like to pay tribute to our security forces in all their ranks for the distinguished role they have played in securing our first democratic election and transition to democracy from bloodthirsty forces which still refuse to see the light.
General Rozani Mapwanya, Metandi Mudise, Me Nosiviwe Mapisa Ngagula, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, and when Vice Admiral Hlongwane, you are these bloodthirsty people that refuse to see the light, that the Constitution is the supreme law of our republic. Law or conduct inconsistent with it is invalid, and the obligations imposed by the constitutions must be fulfilled. You run your offices based on emotions, personalities. We don't like him. But we serve all the people of the country. But this one, no, we don't like him. No, it does not work like that. And I am here, Namadala, to teach you how it works. And that starts at number 1. Cyril Ramaphosa stepped down. Formally so, I have written or petitioned the National Assembly to have you to step down or have you removed. I have done that. You don't believe it. You don't believe that this man have said what he has said. You don't believe it. You don't believe it. You say Mangolele is crazy. Is Nelson Mandela crazy? Is this man crazy? Or are you crazy when Cyril Ramaphosa? Which one is it? Which one is it, Ramaphosa? Are you crazy when? Or am I crazy now? Or is Madiba crazy? Which one is crazy? Or you don't know and you don't understand the meaning of crazy? Misleading people to believe that you serve and defend all people. You are a commander-in-chief. The first thing that you make sure that you provide for is your men, or that you take care of is your men as the commander of the forces. But you put me into a savage road to which nobody should be condemned. Kuntlwaela nonsonso daideng Cyril Ramaphosa. Kuntlwaela nonsonso. You understand? Untlwaela nonsonso. If it was possible nenka utshwara ka diwashene hona no ka uthuba a ke batlo bolella maka untlwaela nonsonso ntsela di tsa koloi yaka in terms of section 2012A of the Constitution when sending police and in cooperation with the defense force to rob me of the 2,500 rand that I was supposed to make me be present in Cape Town on the 14th of September. The very same 14th of September that we are going back and forward with all the courts, including the constitutional courts, where now the Chief Justice is judging himself. Linkwela nonsonso man, linkwela nonsonso. But in any event, those are words. It's a straight. So I said it before to this guy, General Solisho, General Solisho, scan Tloela nonsonso. Vito Ramina Ivulani, Sylvester. I told him and I asked him, what kind of a boss are you who does not do his job? Why must we spend sleepless nights doing our job protecting this South Africa, and General Rozani Mapwanya right now and Liso Lishoke were sitting in their office not doing their job? What is wrong with giving an order, pay the salary of Mangolele, and then you let your people run that are employed to make so? And any other thing that comes after that, we tackle that according to the Constitution and the law. No, man.
The time for the healing of the wounds has come.
And that is true. The time for the healing of the wounds has come.
The moment to bridge the chasm that divides us has come. The time to build is upon us. We have at last achieved our political emancipation. We pledge ourselves to liberate all our people from the continuing bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender, and other discrimination. We succeeded to take our last steps to freedom in conditions of relative peace. We commit ourselves to the construction of a complete, just, and lasting peace. We have triumphed in the effort to implant hope in the breasts of the millions of our people.
And that is true. They have triumphed.
We enter into a covenant that we shall build a society in which all South Africans, both black and white, will be able to walk tall without any fear in their hearts.
He did not say except for Mangolele. Do you understand that, Cyril Ramaphosa? He did not say except for Mangolele. Do you understand, Metandi Mudise? He did not say except for Mangolele. Do you understand, all of you? Do you understand, Hlongwane? Kampatsekima. Do you understand that? Man.
Assured of their inalienable right to human dignity, a rainbow nation at peace with itself and the world. As a token of this commitment to the renewal of our country, the new interim government of national unity will, as a matter of urgency, address the issue of amnesty for various categories of our people who are currently serving terms of imprisonment. We dedicate.
When it comes to these people who are currently serving terms of imprisonment, I declare their release, all of them, because they are imprisoned by a justice system that is incompetent and in gross violation of the Constitution. And such is proven by the Apex Court itself, when the incumbent Chief Justice Mogoeng presided on the matter, which he is called to as a defendant to respond, and 9 other justices of the Constitutional Court allowed the incumbent Chief Justice Mogoeng to judge himself. Now, in service and defense of my country and its people, I remove Chief Justice Mogoeng from office. And that has been already petitioned to Parliament, and Mr. Xhaso must schedule without delay in terms of Rule 130 of the National Assembly rules a matter of public interest, a matter of national security, a matter of a better life for all.
This day to all the heroes and heroines in this country and the rest of the world who sacrificed in many ways and surrendered their lives so that we could be free.
I have surrendered my life so that we could be free. I have lived and struggled, attempted, strived, tried for freedom in South Africa, our land. For me to come back and say, people, that is not the way. As a leader, the way is we must live and enjoy freedom in the universe, our home.
Their dreams have become reality. Freedom is their reward.
Freedom is our reward. Freedom is our reward. And freedom, my freedom, because I carry South Africa on my shoulders, is the freedom of the Republic of South Africa.
We are both humbled and elevated by the honor and privilege that you, the people of South Africa, have bestowed on us as the first president of a united, democratic, non-racial, and non-sexist South Africa to lead our country out of the valley of darkness. We understand it still that there is no easy road to freedom. We know it well that none of us acting alone can achieve success.
We know it well that I cannot pay my salary. We know it well that there are South Africans, good Samaritans, that have sustained my livelihood to this day. And I thank them. And all those who believed in me, I thank them. All those who left me and all those who blocked me on their phones, including you, John Steenhuisen, when I requested you as a person who is a leader of thousands of people or millions of people in the Republic, to let them live and enjoy freedom in the universe, our home, you blocked me. Yeah, we want them to live and struggle for freedom in South Africa, our land. Yeah. We don't see equality here. We don't want people to come and participate in, hey, Mangolele, they say you are in jail, stay in jail. You understand? And I don't know, go get a lawyer. I say, but I have a right to self-representation. You must get a lawyer. No, right to self-representation. We don't give rights here, man. Get a lawyer. No, right to self-representation. No, we don't give rights here. We don't give rights. You don't have a right to self-representation. And like, that is what has currently sustained itself to this day. Oppression of me, oppression by the people that are employed to uphold the supremacy of the Constitution and the rule of law. It is sickening when we think of what our mother and father, our forefathers and all ancestors have sacrificed for us to have this particular reality today. Cyril Ramaphosa, Papa, you have failed to uphold, defend, and respect the Constitution as the supreme law. And you have failed to promote the unity of the nation. Nyiko Mangolele, Sylvester Mangolele, Aluta Songelwa, and the family is the unity of the nation. What is happening with them right now? They are apart. What is your administration doing right now? Everything to keep them apart. Yo, today, ke tlo dahla ka Mangolele coffee sing. Yo, o tlo phone today coffee sing. Yo, yo, we want to oppress that one. He must just be oppressed. But hey, we tell people that we function in terms of Section 14 of the Defense Act. Yo, hey.
We must therefore act together as a united people for national reconciliation, for nation building, for the birth of a new world. Let there be justice for all.
All, they did not say excluding Mangolele. Let there be justice for me, people. Justice for me, let that be. Let my money be paid. Let CLC pay my 80 million and not keep a lie about me and say no. Let SABC pay my 50 million. Let South African Human Rights Commission pay my 50 million. Let the Minister of Defense pay my 15 billion. Let the state pay my 38 centillion. Let there be justice for me.
Let there be peace for all.
And let there be peace for me too.
Let there be work, bread, water, and salt for all.
Even me too. Please. And I use the word please in particular because I am tired of living like I don't exist, of living like I'm not in the Republic of South Africa, of living like, hey, ke persona non grata, oh, chief of defense are his persona non grata, you, hanyake, you know, people,
Let us know that for each, the body, the mind, and the soul have been freed to fulfill themselves. Never, and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another and suffer the indignity then suffer the indignity of being the skunk of the world. The sun shall never set on so glorious a human achievement. Let freedom reign. God bless Africa. I thank you.
And it is true. Let freedom reign. Let freedom reign. Let us live and enjoy freedom in the universe, our home. Let us teach our young to do that. Let us not be in a position where we ignore the realities of our young ones. Let us do our jobs. Let it be that each and every deed that we do every day fosters humanity's belief in justice, fosters humanity's belief in the supremacy of the Constitution and the rule of law. And let it be that all fellow South Africans live in peace and harmony with absolute respect with one another. We shall engage into a way forward in which excuse me for that. We shall engage in a way forward in which all people live in harmony, in peace, and equality. Equality is what beats many other people. Fellow South Africans, charity begins at home. With charity beginning at home, and since things have been done in the opposite to the supremacy of the Constitution and the rule of law, we are going to direct our attention to home. Home, where we eradicate completely the pit toilet system and employ the flushing system. From henceforth and for generations to come, I don't want a fellow African brother in his deathbed or her deathbed directing the young that they must dig a hole of the next toilet in that corner. We shall stop that practice. We shall equally have water in our houses. We shall equally have flushing toilets in our houses. It is equally an opportunity of improving our community and its infrastructure, and that is where the primary resources will be directed to. I understand the needs of speed for other issues that are channeling money elsewhere into the cities. The cities can sustain themselves for just only a limited time period for us to achieve this equality. All that is required is bold and ethical leadership and the sound management of revenue and assets that are entrusted to those that they must manage, in building or ensuring that each and every citizen has a flushing toilet in their home. It is simple. It is not difficult. The difficulty is being made to be money. Money is not a problem. Money is there. What is required is the will of the people and the engagement and their togetherness in ensuring that we achieve equality fundamentally. I have said one too many times to many people that I cannot be enjoying fish and chips, but I do not respect the farmer that has produced that particular potato that gave rise to the chips that I'm eating. And for I know it to be true that many of those farmers are subjected to inhumane, degrading, and cruel treatment or punishment as a result of lack of will by the government. Many people in our rural communities are violated sexually and are embarrassed to take a taxi from, example, Mokgogelo to Temba police station or Hammanskraal police station, having to have all the evidence with them. The responsiveness of our security and our police services in our republic is a decline that must be arrested through immediate directed interventions. Once peace and all these clouds comes out and flourish, we will engage into a strategy with a team of government officials on how we engage and balance all these particular things. As President of the Republic of South Africa, I must appoint cabinet. I must fulfill all the obligations imposed until Parliament is dissolved in terms of Section 50 of the Constitution. I understand this to be a difficult situation for many people. I understand many people to think that it cannot be done. Perhaps, and maybe perhaps, it does take a crazy person, as I have been wrongfully labeled or somewhat labeled in the past by many, to actually achieve such a state of harmony in our country, in all our organs of state. Because right now, our organs of state are threatened by the realities that their boss are connected to Cyril Ramaphosa. Their boss are appointed by Cyril Ramaphosa. The ANC is doing this. We will kill you when you tell on us of corruption. We will do this. No, man. People, let us stop that. Let us stop killing each other in promotion of corruption. I understand that we are hungry. I am hungry. It is now 10:58. The 23rd of September 2021, I have not eaten a thing since yesterday at 1800. I am hungry. I do not have money. It is not a lie, because my money is held in the DOD PESOL system, which is fed information that I am convicted to imprisonment for a period not exceeding 5 years since 8 August 2018, as per the instruction of General Solishoke. And when I approach people, all organs of state, to fix that particular simple thing, hey, you're crazy! Hey, General Solishoke, hi, he said you're in prison. You're crazy. We are not South African human rights. We are not the SABC that must educate. We South African human rights, we will not fulfill our obligations. We as the National Prosecuting Authority will not fulfill our obligations upon you. We as the state will not fulfill our obligations upon you. And then I've noticed, okay, what is wrong is the head of the state. They remove the head of the state, become the head of the state, and the state will function in accordance with the Constitution and the law. And as a soldier who cannot toy, who cannot campaign for being president, who does not need approval from any other person to become president, I am president. It is correct that we are in this reality. It is correct that the incumbent Cyril Ramaphosa must step down. It is correct that we need to fulfill the obligations imposed by the Constitution. And for that to happen, bold and ethical leadership, as the Honorable Pravin Gordhan has once said, is required when he called all South Africans to take ownership and demand accountability. Remember the budget speech of 2017. Good people, I am a person, a natural person, and a juristic person. You understand. It is true. I am a natural person as a citizen of the Republic. I am a juristic person as the South African Navy, an officer commissioned in terms of Section 54 of the Constitution to uphold, defend, and respect the Constitution as the supreme law of the Republic, and advance the unity, and promote the unity of the nation, and advance that which will advance the Republic. I am not confused. I don't read words to cram them, I read words to understand them. And in understanding them becomes an application of those words. I request all fellow South Africans who are employed in terms of the Constitution or the law to fulfill their respective obligations in relation to my ID number and my force number. I employ all soldiers to sit back and do the right things. The right things in peace. The right things in harmony. The right things without armed conflict. We will shed no blood in the removal of Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa as the incumbent 5th president. We will not be barbaric in achieving the supremacy of the Constitution and the rule of law. We will do things in accordance with the principles and the rules in the Constitution. I understand it to be true that I am going through an emotional turmoil that any ordinary human being would go through when placed in the same locus as I am. And it is not easy for me as a person, it is just that Papa O Teng. And one comprehends the phrase Omunye Phezu Komunye in relation to the scripture reading of Leviticus 26 verse 37. And also please take time to look at the Zulu version 59. And the fact that this country is by design not designed to allow the oppression of one by another. As we honor the centenary of Nelson Mandela, Yem Olomsela, Velabampanzele, Lalangoxolo, wena tata wesizwe sethu, nawe qhawekazi, manqwanda, makhalendlovu, mangutyana. And I request you to help me in any support, be it your financial support, be it your skills support, be it your physical support, be it your professional support from all various national institutions. And I know this to be true because I am an African. Because of that, I am able to state this fundamental truth that I am born of the people who are heroes and heroines. I am born of people who would not tolerate oppression. I am of a nation that would not allow that fear of death, torture, imprisonment, exile, or persecution should result in the perpetuation of injustice. The great masses who are our mother and father will not permit that behavior of the few result in the description of our country and its people as barbaric. It is true that all things have happened to this day. It is true that I lead soldiers. It is true that the Human Rights Commission is competent and obligated to promote the observance of, respect for, and the protection of fundamental rights, the development to develop awareness of fundamental rights among all people in the Republic, to make recommendations to organs of state at all levels of government where it considers such action advisable for the adoption of progressive measures for the promotion of fundamental rights within the framework of the law and the Constitution, to undertake such studies for report on or relating to fundamental rights as it considers advisable in the performance of its functions, to request any organ of state to supply it with the information on any legislative or executive measure adopted by it relating to fundamental rights, and to investigate any alleged violation of fundamental rights and to assist any person affected thereby to secure redress. The South African Human Rights Commission had failed to do this. And when the South African Human Rights Commission failed on its mandate, we have a situation in which now I am sorry. I do not want to be the chief of the defense force, and that is not my business. I do not want to rule or conquer anyone, as I should like to help everyone if possible. Muslim, Christian, Jew, Gentile, Buddhist, Indian, colored, black men, and white men. We all want to help one another. It is a fundamental nature of human beings. It is. We fundamentally want to live by each other's happiness and not by each other's misery. We do not want to hate and despise one another, as this good earth is rich and presents room for everyone who live in it. And the way of life can be free and beautiful for everyone. However, we have somewhat lost the way. Greed, as neglected by Maslow's theory, has poisoned men's souls and barricaded the world with hate, thus goosestepping us into misery, distrust, and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but have shut ourselves in machinery that gives us abundance, has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind, as we tend to think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. And without these fundamental human qualities, life will be violent and all will be lost so as to benefit the few in power. Technology has brought us closer together, as the very nature of technological aid cries out for the goodness in men and universal brotherhood so as to promote the unity of us all. Even now, my words as prescribed in this broadcast is reaching out to millions of people throughout our democratic republic and the global community alike. Millions of despairing men, women, and children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. For those who are ready, who are hearing this, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed and the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, do not give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you and regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to feel, and what to think, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines. You are not cattle. You are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You do not hate as only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, do not fight for slavery to live or strive for freedom in South Africa, our land. Fight for liberty to live and enjoy freedom in the universe, our home. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke, verse 20, it is written that the kingdom of God is within men, not in one man nor a group of men, but in all men. In you, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure and a good story to tell. Then, in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, and a decent world that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future, and old age the security and care they so deservedly need. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now, let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. South Africans, in the name of democracy, let us all unite. And whereas The former President Thabo Mbeki stated in his I Am an African speech, whatever the setbacks of the moment, nothing can stop us now. Whatever the difficulties, Africa shall be at peace. However improbable it may sound to the skeptics, Africa will prosper. Whoever we may be, whatever our immediate interest, however much we carry baggage from our past, however much we have been caught by the fashion of cynicism and loss of faith in the capacity of the people, let us err today and say, nothing can stop us now. Thank you in advance. Thank you now. May God protect our people. Nkosi sikelela i-Afrika, morena boloka setjhaba sa yeso. God siye in South Africa. God bless Africa. Modimo futsuseja Africa. Osikatekisa Africa. Let there be indeed justice for all. Let there be indeed peace for all. Never, never, and never again. The legend lives on. Papa O Teng. Peace. Fellow South Africans, it is the peace that I ask of you. It is the peace that must lead us forward. It is the peace that must bring us joy in the universe, our home. It is what I pray. It is what I allow all of you to do and say with your own mouths. Now, moving forward, I declare by proclamation as obligated in terms of Section 4 of the Constitution, the replacement of the terms, let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa, our land, with let us live and enjoy freedom in the universe, our home. And the last highest note of the national anthem will henceforth sound, let us live and enjoy freedom in the universe, our home. I thank you all.